Through the storm, He is Lord, Lord of all.
Welcome back to On Point from the Summerdale Church of Christ. There's a story in John chapter 4 that is very familiar to most of us. It's about a woman who is at the well, and Jesus goes to the well and he asks for water, and they get into this interaction, this discussion about worship and what it's supposed to be about, among many other things. And sometimes we focus on those other parts of the story because we see this woman who's hurting and broken, and Jesus is trying to minister to her and help her in whatever way he can. But then there's also the section towards the end where they begin to talk about worship. And as they do that, she's wrestling with the fact that talking to a Jew who apparently to her, she saw him as a rabbi and later maybe a prophet. But she's talking to Jesus and she begins to say, well, we worship on our mountain. They worshiped at Mount Gerizim. They had established a pattern of worship after the Jews had been taken off into captivity. They're no longer worshiping in Jerusalem. And Jesus now, as a Jew, as a rabbi, in her presence, she's going to talk to him about this. And he's going to identify that really if you're going to worship God, you should do it in Jerusalem, where the Jews worshiped. But in that section, he also introduces a thought that's going to be very important as we move on into the book of Acts. And that is that he says it doesn't matter whether it's on that mountain or this mountain, because what really God wants is us to worship in spirit and in truth. Have you ever wondered why spirit and truth? Well, sometimes it's the emotional part, the spiritual part that people are attracted to. They want to feel something when they come to worship. But Jesus introduces the fact that just doing it, going through the motions is not enough. You have to do it in a way that we say biblical or scriptural. As Jesus said, you do it in truth. So as you worship God, think about how you can do it both in an emotional, spiritual way and also doing it in a biblical way to ensure that you're doing exactly the way God commanded. And that way, by putting both aspects together, you'll worship him the way he wants to be worshiped. I hope you have a great day. Thanks for tuning in to On Point.
Through the storm, He